Hold up. Wait a minute. Bruh. Did you hit the like button? Drop some rabbits in the chat. Let's go.
Hit that like. Hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat. Hit chat. Hit that like. Hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. If you want the tea, come see me. Rabbit hole is the place to be for real news, not fake news. Celebrity news, breaking news around the clock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock, I rock, I rock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock. Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat, let's chit chat, chit chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat, drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat, drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat, drop some rabbits. True crime is my specialty, exposed in the industry. Unsolved mysteries, sticking to reality. Fair use commentary, talking about cults, trying to get results. Exploring hopes, exploring, researching, debunking, investigating, being nosy, super nosy, being messy, being shady. Rabbit hole news, that's me, the chick with ADHD, unmedicated but quite educated. Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat, let's chit chat, chit chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat, drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat, drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat, drop some rabbits. Hit that like, hit that like. Let's go, let's go. Let's start the show, let's start the show, let's start the show, let's start the show, let's start the show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me make sure the sound. Oh, no, hold up. It's the, okay, that's the camera. Let me make sure the sound is working good. I think the sound is great. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Thank you. Yo, I have the, Sex in the City. This is not the full screen, but, we're still on the green screen. Y'all can see Carrie Bradshaw's bedroom right there. That's Carrie Bradshaw's bedroom back in Sex in the City. The new show, I'm not really feeling the new show. They killed off Mr. Big. Let me know if you guys were Sex in the City fans, because I know I was. Yeah, so that's Carrie Bradshaw's bedroom. The sound is amazing. That's good. Except I'm not quite a fan of the new show. I'm struggling with it. I really am. I'm like, there's something off about this new show, but let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys have watched the And Just Like That. That's like the new HBO. So that would be like when I don't want to talk about commentary, true crime, or anything. That would be the equivalent of just kind of logging off and go watch something else and get into something else. You guys have watched it. I'm not feeling I have watched all the seasons so far, but I'm not really feeling it. You know, they're living in your mind rent free. Yes, they are. They really are. Forever. You don't watch, you haven't seen it, you're not missing much. But anyway, some of you guys might recognize it if you watch Sex in the City. You might recognize the scene in the back. I have some other ones. Let me see if I could change it up. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I think I have Seinfeld's living room. Maybe I do. No, I don't. Oh, well. Okay. We're just going to leave it at that. Anyways, shout out to everybody in the chat. I know, not Samantha, not interested. I know they kind of replaced her with Seema. I don't know how I feel about the character yet. That's what I got to say about that. Okay, guys, welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. What are you guys drinking on? What a day, what a morning, what a interesting turn. So we have Mr. President actually talking about the Epstein Files, the fake news, he's still on this rant. We're going to talk about that. The internet is reacting. You got senators and different political figures coming out speaking on this as well. So I'm here for it. We need to understand what is going on. Are we going to see these files or what? Maxwell, Ghislaine, her family has made a statement as well. So we got to talk about that. There's just so many different things that we have to talk about when it comes to this. So sit back and let's talk. The other story that's kind of bothering me, we were talking a little bit about it yesterday, was this whole like the guy with the Annabelle doll. That was weird. Yeah, don't be messing with that stuff. Like, I know people are into the paranormal, but some stuff is best to just leave alone. That's what I gotta say about that. That is crazy, that whole situation. But maybe that might be a whole separate video that we can, talk about. Maybe we'll talk about it tonight because I'll be live tonight too. We gotta do a two videos tonight. Hey, also the other thing I want to say is I really do appreciate two more things. I really do appreciate so people are really liking, like yesterday, people had a really good liking to the video that we did yesterday. I was a little surprised because, I always kind of get a little bit worried about, when we specific, it's one thing to talk about celebrities, but when you're talking about political figures, it's a whole different dinosaur, and people really get in their fifis about political people. I don't. I'm okay talking about I don't like these people, so I'm okay saying that. But some people really do get in their feelings. So I was a little surprised by the positive outcome of that video based on ratio. So I am so here for that. That was amazing. Thank you guys for the likes and the comments in that video. Hopefully this is a good video for you guys as well. The other thing I'm going to say is shout out to everybody in the Discord. The Discord, we did some changes on it. So for those that don't know, we got rid of our open chat. If you are a member, that's a perk that comes with the Discord. So just note that if you haven't logged on to Discord, you might find a couple things different. Go into the members chat. That's where everybody's hanging out. We just had too many trolls come in the Discord, so we definitely had to put a stop to that little situation. But okay, let's get started, y'all. Let's get started because we got to talk. Listen, one of the things that really, really, really surprised me is Mr. Kevin Spacey. Mr. Kevin Spacey basically says he ain't got nothing to hide with these people, this Epstein list. Okay, please release the Epstein Files. He says all of them. For those of us, nothing to fear. The truth can't come soon enough. I hate to make this about me, but the media already has. You know what? Use Gemini's like, oh, come on, Rabbit. This guy, I can't. Come on. Look, I can appreciate the people that are saying, I was accused of being on this list. I want this to be out. I want this list to be out. I don't got nothing to hide. And Carrie Ann says a survivor in his replies is calling him out. Really? Why? Really? Okay. But he's doing it to clear his name. Clearly. That's what he wants to do. But he wants them out. What do you guys think about Kevin Spacey's statement here? Happy Kevin, there isn't little boys on the Epstein list. The list doesn't include little boys, right? Lord have mercy. Y'all are messy in this chat. Wait a minute. So to be fair, you think he's trolling? He's just got distracted. Okay. So what do you guys think about Kevin's statement? So Kevin came forward and he's like, you guys release these files. That's what we need to do. Pervs are pervs, regardless of social media or financial statute. It's the pot calling the kettle black. Okay. So you guys aren't going to give him any kudos for like saying something? You don't trust Kevin, Lord of. Okay. So for those that don't know what the controversy is, Kevin Spacey was one of the people that was called out, I think in 2017. So he faced, to be fair, guys, because we got to be fair, okay? We have to be fair. He faced civil and criminal charges, I believe in the US and in the UK, okay? And he was actually cleared of both civil and criminal, all right, of any wrongdoing. Now, I don't know what he hasn't been found liable. He hasn't been found anything. He had Alan Jackson. Was his name Alan Jackson, the guy who was the attorney for Karen Reed? That was his attorney. I mean, he cleared his name. That's like top-notch attorney. He cleared his name, guys. He cleared his name. So my thing is, the other thing that Kevin did was he went on Piers Morgan and did a whole sit-down interview. And he basically sat there and said, like, hey, I traveled, on this plane. I might have been on the list, but you know, I wasn't part of this whole situation. That really wasn't me. I didn't, I didn't do anything. But he's got a couple of accusers out there. Yeah, and most of his it was the witnesses that passed away, actually. So there were some witnesses that were supposed to testify, and he basically, some of them passed away. I'm here for the fact that he says release it, but I don't necessarily think that, like somebody said in the chat, well, the victims weren't little boys that we know of. There were little girls. If that makes a difference, I don't know, but there's that. His movie was Best Seven. I mean, he's a great actor. He's a great actor. He does great. But is he trolling? I'm not placing all the blame where it belongs, not blaming those that are innocent despite their prior actions. Okay. You have to kind of weigh this in. I'm wondering. Kevin is connected to this. I do not believe him. Show me your friends and I will tell you who you are. Well, Greek lady, he wants people to release the list. Like he wants to clear his name, whatever it may be, even though he says it's not about him, but the media has made it about him. Well, I don't think anybody was really talking about him, but he did say that. So now I'm kind of wondering, let's see what the people in the comments are saying, my friends. Hold up. Now, do I follow? I think I do follow Kevin Spacey. Give me 1 second. Kevin Spacey. Here it is. Supporters of KevinSpacey.com. No, I don't follow him. Okay. Release the files to all the media outlets requesting further comment. Kevin has no knowledge of how explosive the list might be or anything else pertaining to the Epstein files. It would just be him running his mouth about something he doesn't know. And last I checked, that's your job. Ooh, somebody said, they aren't going to come out. So now you pretend you want them. Nice try. See, now look at this message. Massage therapist suing Kevin Spacey for SA dies ahead of trial. This is what everybody was saying in the comments. Kevin Spacey accuser Linda Cudlin died after being struck by a car. A lot of people died when it came to Kevin Spacey witnesses and accusers. There's one accuser right there. Okay, just so people are aware. Kevin Spacey accuser dies by S day after actor posts killed with kindness video. He did that very creepy Christmas video, which was like was it like House of Cards or something like that? He was like imitating, like, this is what you do with your people. You kill them with kindness and then somebody dies. Kevin Spacey won't face criminal charges in that case, that GOP case, after accuser's death. Okay, so people are aware. Kevin Spacey fears no one. All right. Hello, Kevin Spacey. Remember me. Ooh, Kevin Spacey, thank you. I guess this was a defender of Kevin Spacey. Hold up. Let me see what they had.
Young girls. And we were like, what? Who is this guy?
I remember this interview.
So I will say this.
There were young girls on those flights.
There were young girls on those flights. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like he contradicted himself multiple.
There were young girls on those flights. So he knows that. He just is saying that none of that has to do with him.
Jeffrey Epstein. I didn't want to be around this guy because I felt he put the president at risk on that trip to South Africa because there were these young girls. And we were like, what? Who is this guy? So I will say this.
There were young girls on those flights.
There were young girls on those flights. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like he contradicted himself multiple times by saying that he didn't know who Jeffrey Epstein was. And then he said that he thought Jeffrey Epstein was a bad guy. And I could tell it seemed like you were uncomfortable a little bit watching that clip, Juliet. So was Kevin Spacey just lying there? What was true about any of those statements he made?
Well, I don't understand how someone can fly on someone's airplane and sit at dinner with them and not know who they are.
How do you not know somebody and you're flying on their plane? Okay, Linda. Okay, Linda. This is getting out of control. Please release the Epstein files, which you're in them. Lord, people are hacking people. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Or that's a fake little a posting. Anyways, so that is the deal with Kevin Spacey. I think he either you believe that he is trying to clear his name or he's using this as an opportunity for clout. Somebody clarify, Kevin, did you know Epstein or did you not know Epstein? How do you know somebody and not fly on their plane? I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Check your email. I'm afraid Simpsons will be right once again. Okay, I'll definitely check it when I get a chance. Clout? Clout. Deborah, thank you for becoming a member. Shout out to you. Love my ass off. Bitch, you're on them. That's what the guy said on Twitter. I don't know if people's IGs and Twitters are getting hacked. I mean, you saw what happened with Elmo. Elmo's trying to fix his reputation right now. Elmo's for the children. He was hacked by Kanye West. I don't know what the hell happened to Elmo, but I will say I find it so funny that you got these, like, what's Elmo gonna do? Get on camera and give a statement, give an exclusive interview about how he got hacked? Poor Elmo. I'm telling you, nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Elmo, but none of these people are safe. None of these puppets are safe. Nothing. Deborah, again, thank you for becoming a member. Shout out to you. And thank you for supporting the channel. Y'all are great. Thank you. Let me see what you guys are saying. He needs a ukulele, not a Colleen Ballinger moment. No, Aries. No, he doesn't. Nobody's safe. Not even the sock puppets are safe. All right, guys, let's get it together. Okay. So Maxwell's family, right? Ghislaine Maxwell's family is making statements. This actually broke last night, and I'm here for it. I wanted to hear what the family had to say. I put it on my bookmarker. I didn't read it because I said I want to read it with my people and see what everybody has to say and react to it all while we're all here. Okay. So this was yesterday. This was a Maxwell family statement, July 15th, and they have a Justice for realghislaine.com by realghislaine.com. Our sister Ghislaine did not receive a fair trial. Her legal team continues to fight her case in courts and will file its reply in short order to the government's opposition in the U.S. Supreme Court. If necessary, in due course, they will also file a writ of habeas corpus in the U.S. District Court of SDNY. This allows her to challenge her imprisonment on the basis of new evidence, such as government misconduct, that would have likely changed the trial's outcome. Let me ask you guys a question. Is the government, as it pertains to Ghislaine, to Gigi, to Griselda, are they misbehaving? Are they like, is the government misbehaving? That's like the wrong word to use. Is there misconduct on behalf of the government as it pertains to Maxwell? Do you guys feel like there's like misconduct happening here? I never really, like, what would be the misconduct? Let me know. What do you guys think? They got it right? You think they got it right, but what would be the misconduct? Is the new evidence the misconduct, or is the new evidence the fact that what is it? What would have changed the trial outcome? What new evidence? New co-conspirators? What is it exactly that they're not? Because I have a question about that. I really do. What is it that they're holding on? I said, God knows if the government is working with Maxwell. I trust nothing. Okay. So make your argument in the comments. Let me know, why is it that there is misconduct? How are they misconduct? Well, what are they doing? You see no misconduct. Okay. You don't know. Okay. There's no files. That's the misconduct. Okay. So then Maxwell can say, well, you guys are sitting on evidence, or you're not hearing the other side of this information. There's these files and you're not willing to review them. That's the misconduct. And it could change the course of this whole trial. Okay. Or even her conviction. Okay. You said that the only misconduct is that they gave her 20 years. Lord have mercy. She said she was treated with kid gloves. In my opinion, her punishment should be more severe. Well, she only got, what was it, 20 years or 30 years? I thought it was 20. Arhar says the government did not bring in high profile witnesses and partakes in the crimes. Well, I will say this. I am willing, my opinion, and you guys let me know what your opinion is in the chat. I'm willing to revisit, or at least think about, the misconduct. That I don't think that this woman is innocent by all means. Oh, no. but she's not the only one, right? There's got to be more people behind her. It was 20 years. Okay. You said, I think the misconduct is that she's in prison and there's no files. The other misconduct is that the new news that there's no list. What is she sitting there behind bars if it's not like what do we have on this lady? She can't be the only one. So they're going to challenge it. This allows her to challenge her imprisonment on the basis of new evidence, such as, so this is just one piece of new evidence, that the government misconduct that would have likely changed the trial outcome. Following the government's response, David Oscar Marcus, counsel of record for our sister in her petition to the United States Supreme Court, had this comment. I'd be surprised if President Trump knew his lawyers were asking the Supreme Court to let the government break a deal. He's the ultimate deal maker. He really is. And I'm sure he'd agree that when the United States gives its word, it should keep it. With all the talk about who's being prosecuted and who isn't, it's especially unfair that Maxwell remains in prison based on a promise that the U.S. government made and broke. These are sentiments with which we profoundly concur. At last statement, with all the talk about who's being prosecuted and who isn't, it's especially unfair that Maxwell remains in prison based on a promise the U.S. government made and broke. So, government made promises with Epstein that it almost seems like they're still keeping even after death. Federal government made promises to some other co-conspirators that we haven't really heard about, that they're still keeping. There's just so much red tape behind this. And the question is are we really ever really going to know any of that? And so then you have this woman that's behind bars. And by all means, please note that I don't think she's an innocent person whatsoever, but I don't think that she is the one that she should be the only one sitting behind bars. Should be other people. Rhiannon, thank you so much for the $2. You said Diddy trial now sets precedents. Well, yes and no. Because Diddy didn't get charged with, he was what is it? He was exonerated of the first charge. He's only under the Mann Act. Maxwell charges are a little bit different. So I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think that you can look at this in different ways. Maxwell, I think in my mind is she should not be the only person there. There should be others with her, if that makes sense. I don't think she's an innocent woman. To me, if anything, she's giving KK, Christina Quorum, allegedly, even though she hasn't been formally charged, and God knows if that's even going to happen now that Diddy was found not guilty of the, RICO. So there's that. She isn't the only one. There are more than that's why the lists and files should be released. Trump was on Epstein's plane, partied with Epstein, Samantha says. Samantha, and a lot of people knew that, right? A lot of people. And that's okay. You voted for who you voted for. Like, I get it. Like, and I'm not trying to shame anybody for that because you guys are in hell. Like I said, I wasn't too impressed with this election. I told you guys it felt like pick your poison between the two, honestly, because I wasn't a fan of both. And so it felt, for those that were not fans of both, it almost felt like our voices were not really heard. It has not been heard throughout this process. And now people are kind of waking up to see, well, this president that, between the Venezuelans, for example, who were promised so many things, and they did the song, I will vote for Donald Trump. They did that. Shout out to the Venezuelans all. But they got took as well, because they really thought that they were going to be protected. And who did they deport first? The Venezuelans. And then people came into my comments and said, well, Robin, they're the reason why, what's going on with I know what's going on with the Venezuelans. I know that their situation, their president, all of that is horrible, but they were promised certain things. And the very people that were promised, that were visited in the community, are the ones that they're deporting. And those are the ones that are now sending lawsuits over there. And that's what I'm saying, is that this is what these politicians do, whether it's Trump, hell, even Obama, who deported a lot of people in his administration. None of these people have it right. And what just pisses me off even more, is that the Democrats, okay, are now using this, release the files, to basically say, this is what the people want. We wanted this in your administration when Biden was in office. So don't act like you're going to use that to weaponize against Trump. That's the thing that I don't like. And then people eat that shit and say, yeah, they really wanted it for us. No, they're using that to weaponize against the party that's currently in office. That's the part that really I struggle with. And some of us can see through the bullshit and some of us can't. That's what it is. So, and I'm willing to say that. I'm willing to say, like, we have to look at every aspect and every side of everything. If you're going to criticize everything, criticize them all. Criticize all these leaders, because they're not in it for us, right? That being said, though, there is no way that this woman did this on her own. And I stand by that. There's no way. There's no way that Maxwell, this was not a one-person show. And so now you got these senators and politicians. This one, for example, speaking out. He has something to say about this.
Growing demands for answers on Capitol Hill over the Jeffrey Epstein investigation after the Trump administration declined to release more case files. Prominent MAGA supporters have expressed outrage over the move, and President Trump has been standing by his Attorney General Pam Bondi, who made the decision today, saying that this is in response to a question from our Catherine Faulders.
We've gone through years of it, but she's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release. Yeah.
Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release. See, this is that like confusing part of this statement. So are they credible or are they not? Did Barack Obama write the Epstein Files? Like, this is the part that people, y'all need to like listen to the way in which this man speaks, because he could really sell you a Pinto and tell you it's a Bugatti. You know what I mean? Or like one of those kinds of cars. Like I cannot with this situation that I'm like, but you just told us that they're all fake news. All of us. Hell, even Nate the lawyer said he really thinks we're all stupid. My take, he knows those files are bad for him. Now he's trying to discredit them before they drop so they can blame the Dems. You can't have it both ways, y'all. You can't.
In terms of the credibility of the
look at this
things, no, she's given us just a very quick briefing, and in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen, and I would say that these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden. We went through years of that with the Russia hoax. With all of the different things that we had to go through, we've gone through years of it.
Oh my. I don't know what to say. Yo, so there are files. They're fake news. I don't know, Mr. Joker. That's the joke. Are they real or are they not real? Dude, the delusion. Trump means that if his enemies are in Epstein Files, his AG should release them. If his friends are in them, then she should not release those parts, period. There you go. That's the thank you, Andrew. Shout out to Andrew. Okay. Shout out to Andrew, just decoded this for us. That's what I picked up. It's fake news if it's the people that he likes, if it's his friends, the people that support him, right? That's what it seems like to me. How do you say that all of them are, some of them are written and some of them are not? Like, how do you say that? Hell, even the people that have interviewed about them haven't even said that. What part of these files were written by Comey, Obama? In Obama, out of all people, this man wasn't even arrested. Well, hold up, because he had that little investigation initially. I don't understand. So then when people come into my comments and they say, yo, it's the deep state, it's this and that, I have to tell you guys, man, the buck stops here. Stop passing the blame to other people. The next thing I'm going to hear is that it was the DEI, it was this. Like, I'm so tired. And it's only been 6 months or 7 months of this administration being in office that they keep blaming other people for the things that have not been done. Let me tell you something. If I get hired for a job, and I've been hired many, many times, I never go to a job and basically being a new person, taking a position from somebody else to sit there and bitch and complain and moan about the fact that somebody didn't do something while they were in that position. You don't do that. And this is the opposite of this. This is the leader of the country here. You know what I mean? And he represents us all over. And that's what he does. He sits there and he blames everybody else but it doesn't get the shit done. Have y'all ever think about it? Go get hired at a job and go bitch about the fact that somebody in that position didn't do the job. Well, guess what? You'd spend more time bitching about it if you just do the damn job, which is what you're hired to do. It is crazy. Yes, he was. Crazy, man. Crazy work right here. I don't understand. So it's everybody's fault. If they're trying to set him up, everybody. Okay.
But she's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release. Yeah. No.
Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release.
She's given us just a very quick briefing, and in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen.
She's given us a quick briefing. What the hell does that even mean? Did you sit there and review the files with her? This is making no sense, guys.
And I would say that, these files were made up by Comey. They were made up by Obama. They were made up by the Biden. We went through years of that with the Russia hoax, with all of the different things that we had to go through. We've gone through years of it. But she's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It makes me flip the table. It makes me just want to be like, let me just jump over and just do something. Okay.
So you heard that. But in the meantime here, at least 2 Republican senators are signaling they would support calling Epstein's convicted accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, to testify before Congress. So ABC News correspondent Jay O'Brien's tracking all of this.
Hey, G-Matt.
For us on the Hill. First of all, Jay, what are you hearing from rank and file GOP lawmakers? What are they saying about the case and the possibility of a Maxwell testimony?
Well, look, there's no formal plans right now in the works to have Ghislaine Maxwell testify before Congress, but Josh Hawley just today became the second Republican. The other is Mike Lee to signal he would support calling Ghislaine Maxwell up here to Capitol Hill to testify in public about her dealings with Jeffrey Epstein. Again, as you say, she's his convicted accomplice. Here's a little bit more of what Hawley said earlier.
100%. Yeah, she's willing to testify. I mean, we got to call her in the Judiciary Committee, put her under oath, and have her testify. I did.
Willing to call her and have her testify. And let me tell you, my friends, if she's willing to do that, I'm here for it. Because if we're not going to get it from the government, if we're not going to get it from other people that work for us, guess what? I'm here for other people to testify. I'm here for witnesses to come forward and say what they said and seen and didn't see. I'm here for it. And I think we have to be open to it, right? Like, and I don't know, maybe she needs to cut a deal, something to that, even though in my opinion, she already has somewhat of a deal. But I want other people convicted. I want to bring other people to the table. So as long as Mr. President said, well, some of it is fake news. Who's fake news? Is it the people? Is it your friends? Your supporters, donors?
Now, look, here's the thing. There are other Republican senators who have made it clear that they also have unanswered questions here, Kana, and they lay most of the blame for their unanswered questions at the feet of Attorney General Pam Bondi. They don't necessarily blame the president for that.
I think that's bullshit. I told you guys. I think that's bullshit. We're blaming yet another woman. It's another thing that people are fixated on that. I'm telling you, I think it's bullshit. It's the same thing that's happening with Maxwell, who's, sitting behind bars for 20 years. They're blaming everything on her that Epstein did. Everything lies on her. There's no way. There's no way. The buck has to stop. Like, this is crazy to me that it's just her. Why are we blaming her? Fire her, and what's going to happen? They're going to hire somebody else or get somebody else in office that's exactly like her, that's willing to be, tight ass about shit. Okay? It's bullshit. Crazy to blame her. I'm just saying. I may not like the lady. I may think that she's full of BS, but it's crazy just to blame her.
But they do blame some of these Republicans that I've talked to up here, the Attorney General, for not being clear, they say, with the American people.
Right, pointing their finger right at her. What about other Republican leaders on the Hill? What are you hearing from them?
Mm-hmm.
Well, look, typically what we've heard from Republican leaders up to a certain point today has been saying they support Attorney General Pam Bondi. Just most recently, House Speaker Mike Johnson came out and became the highest ranking Republican up here on the Hill to say that Pam Bondi does have questions that she still should answer for the American people, and she should explain more aspects of this case because there are Americans with questions. Johnson just coming out and saying that not long ago on a podcast that he taped up here on Capitol Hill. But other Republican leaders have been tight-lipped. I want to play you a little bit of what Jim Jordan told me earlier today when I asked him, does he personally?
I wonder that's part of her Scientology training, by the way, Pam Bondi, if that's kind of like why she's like this and whatnot, and her connections to that. Yes, I'm well aware of her connections because a lot of you guys send me articles out there about this situation. But my thing is like, I just have an issue with the fact that we're only solely blaming Pam Bondi on this decision. You guys, it makes perfect sense. And I have to side with Nate, the lawyer, on this one. And with Andrew, who's in the chat as well, is that the reason why he's calling fake news on the things that are calling out the people that are in his corner. That's what it is. That's what it is. And then everything else is not fake news. So there are files. We were lied to when this information came out. We were told that there was nothing else. And there's no co-conspirators. And what else by the way, I have that other clip where Trump is saying, well, all these files are just boring. Epstein's boring. We don't give a shit about that. We're not asking for Epstein files to entertain us. We're wanting to know the information, the truth, which is what was promised while they were campaigning. The question that I have, you guys, is JFK files. How many years did it take for them to release them? Why do we have to wait another 40, 50 years for information to get released? We're alive now today. Some of those victims are millennial ages, our ages. Some of you guys are Gen Xers, very close to a millennial age. We want to know what happened and who and did what to these people. How can we say we're here to stop trafficking and child exploitation, all kinds of things, when we have the information right there and we can't do anything about it? Isn't that crazy?
Have questions about this Epstein case. Remember, Jim Jordan is the chair of the powerful House Judiciary Committee that would have the purview of investigating this Epstein matter. Here's a little bit of what he said.
Do you personally have questions about the Epstein case? I have total confidence in President Trump and his team. And I got to get to a deposition that I'm waiting for. Do you still have personal questions about the Epstein case? There's nothing that doesn't confuse you? I don't know how many times I can say it. I got total confidence in President Trump.
My goodness.
Time after time, we heard that from Jim Jordan. We heard that from some other high-profile Republicans here, Kana, but they are under serious pressure from some of the hardliners in their party to dig deeper into this and from the MAGA base to take this issue seriously. All of that to say, President Trump is taking the exact opposite tune. His message to Hill Republicans at this hour has really been to move on from this Epstein case.
It certainly has. All right, Jay O'Brien, our thanks to you.
I bet they want to move on. I bet they do. They don't want this. They're done. They don't want to deal with this. They don't want to deal with any of this. Hell, CoffeeZilla did a video. This is crazy, man. Hold up. Was it CoffeeZilla or Voidzilla? I forget. He's got like multiple channels. But anyways, he did a video just this morning. And yep, here it is. Actually, no, it was about 8 hours ago. We haven't watched it.
Epstein files were on Pam Bondi's desk. Then they didn't exist. Then they were written by the Democrats. Now they're just plain old boring. You don't want to see what's in there.
It's pretty boring stuff. It's sorted, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say let them have it.
So there you hear it. Now, to some of you, the copium's going to set in. You're going to say, hey, he said the credible information, we can release it. We should release it, and we'll talk about that. But they also say in the same interview, we already released the credible information.
And the credible information's been given.
So if it's already been given, they're not going to give you more stuff. Now, funny enough, the guy next to Trump looking on and laughing as Trump says this is a big nothing burger. The only people who would deal in this kind of talk are fake news. That is Epstein's neighbor. That is Howard Lutnick, who has a house that was next to Epstein's place. You can see him laughing here. It's even been reported that Howard Lutnick's place actually literally touches Jeffrey Epstein's house. That's how close their two houses are together. That's the same guy laughing at a statement by the president that Jeffrey Epstein is boring and there's no reason to look into him. And if you do, you're a bad person.
Really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like.
Why is that guy laughing? I know, right, G-Matt? Why? But the guy next to him is like, laugh. Look at him. Like, the shit is funny. That's crazy. Look at, he's really laughing. He's laughing. I don't know what to make of it. It's the way that he's like, oh, this is so tacky. It's so tacky. Would you say he knows he knows? He can't take him serious? It's the way that he's laughing. I don't know. I can't get over that.
I almost don't have words for this, to be calling it boring, to be talking about one of the world's largest predators of all time and trying to figure out who the powerful people are who are connected with this guy, especially when the former neighbor of said predator is standing there laughing as you say that everyone interested in this case is somehow fake news or a bad person.
Absolutely.
You can see this both in property records and in public press statements at the time about Epstein's Manhattan townhouse, saying that Howard Lutnick of Cantor Fitzgerald bought the adjacent smaller townhouse owned by Lex Wexner. That's one of Epstein's famous benefactors. And in fact, Epstein owned the house that later got sold to Howard Lutnick. You can see he owns the trust that owned this house. Later, of course, it goes to Comet Trust and then to Howard Lutnick. Supposedly, the property was sold for $10 in cash value and some other equivalent things. We don't know how much, just to be clear. So maybe it was a fair value price. And maybe they don't know each other. I want to be clear that Howard Lutnick denies knowing Jeffrey Epstein or being associated, so we have to get that in there. But the optics of this are just completely insane, and anyone who's paying attention should not expect any further disclosures from the FBI, DOJ, despite the fact that Trump is sort of about facing on this and saying, well, we can give over the legitimate files. But as we just showed, the legitimate files they're claiming they've already put out. Here's Donald Trump saying that the Epstein files, once again, are a hoax. But he also says that they can be released if credible.
And in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen, and I would say that, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden, we went through years of that.
Wait, so if that is the case, let's just entertain that for a minute. What part of the files were not made up by Comey and Biden? If that was the case, like which part? Like, where was it? Like, so the ones that we received were not written by Biden or Obama or Comey or Clinton or all the other parties? Which part of it? I just want to know which ones they didn't write, so that way we know that we actually got the right ones. Because I don't want the ones that they wrote. Well, maybe I do, because I want to know what they wrote in them. Okay.
With the Russia Russia hoax, with all of the different things that we had to go through. We've gone through years of it, but she's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release. Yeah.
So that's the second time now he's pushed it off on his attorney general to now handle. But I just don't think this is meaningful because, like I said, they've already said they've given us the credible information already. I think basically they're going to kill it from here. That's my guess, especially since we did get a word from Pam Bondi about this when asked. She basically said, we're just going to defer to the memo.
Would release credible files related to Mr. Epstein. Are you prepared to do that, and when would you do it?
Our memo speaks for itself, and we'll get back to you on anything else. I haven't seen all of his statements today.
Oh, God.
So I think that shows pretty clearly that they're going to just continue barreling down this path while giving people a bone as far as making it seem like they might release something. This is a common smokescreen that we see where they will kind of bait people like, maybe we'll release something, maybe we'll release something, maybe. And then every 12 months or something, they release something of complete non-importance. The problem is when people like this control the files, anything but a full release besides the CSAM and victims' names is not going to do it. You have to, the only way to do something like this is to release all of the files, except for those small categories. That's the only way to build back trust. But clearly that's not what's going to happen. And anyone who's paying the slightest bit of attention to what our leaders are actually saying, they are absolutely telling you they're not going to do it. They're all deferring to each other. Trump's deferring to Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi's deferring to the memo.
They're just going back and forth, and people are not going to let this go. I don't think this is going to be like a good thing. It's not going to get let go. People are not going to let this go. Okay. You're going to see a lot of people overturning, and then anything else that Trump does moving forward, it's going to be high scrutiny. People are going to look into this and be like, no, like you handled this wrong. You handled this other way. Just, they're not going to let this go. By the way, guys, do me a favor. Let me stop right here. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, because this is the kind of, I've said it before, support the channel. This is the kind of commentary that YouTube does not. Anything with President Trump or Epstein or anything like that, they like to suppress this in the algorithm, and it does hurt my channel. So make sure you guys are like hitting the like button, supporting the channel, sharing, and doing all those good things, because it does help, and it also puts us out there so that anybody's typing anything in the search bar, they're able to find the channel as it pertains to this content and commentary. Thank you, Storm. Thank you, Storm, for being a member for 8 months. I'm never shutting up about this ish. I don't think it's anything that people are going to give up. But thank you, Storm, for being a member for 8 months. Moni says, Rabbit, unfortunately, by Thanksgiving, people will not be talking about this. I don't know. Will it be this? Will it be something else? Listen, this is giving this energy that people are throwing out there. They're not very happy. I mean, you have its very own supporter MAGA base that are saying like, no, we're not standing with this. You effed up. Are they letting this go? What are they going to do? Yeah, we need higher voices, right? But I mean, I guess we'll find out. Is it going to be done here? What are we going to do here?
And ultimately, no one is going to be held accountable. Now, there have been some political games played with this, with the Democrats trying to get the Epstein Files released. And this was actually blocked by people in Congress, which is just so mind-blowing to me that people would actually say no to releasing this. But they did.
Why do they say no? This is so, you think that there wasn't a meeting behind closed doors about how to handle this situation? Are they saying, do people not see the craziness out of this?
Saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. No. In the opinion of the chair, the noes have it. The amendment's not agreed
Chair, I'm
to.
kind of shocked by that. I will ask for a roll call.
5 yeas, 7 nays.
The amendment is not agreed to. And I think most of us believe what's appropriate will be released when it is time for the president to release it.
Oh my God. Lord have mercy. Okay.
Thank you.
So there you see it. We're just supposed to blindly trust that they're going to release it. Honestly, I have no faith in any of this. I think this is all political theater. Honestly, the people who are like, oh, look, it's just the Republicans. I mean, we could have released this a long time ago. To be honest, I don't trust any of these people until I see actual documents released.
I don't. I'm right there. Shout out to Void. I'm right there, you guys. I don't trust this side or that side. We cannot trust these people. This has been a whole shit show, and all of this needs to get overthrown. And these people are not working for us anymore. They're working for themselves. And I'm so glad that he's saying that, because the reality is that this should have been released when the other administration was there, and they didn't do it. This is the BS that we're talking. There's just so much red tape behind all of it that people just do not give an ish. I cannot.
I believe this is all theater. I don't actually believe they're going to get this done. I think they could have been doing this from the very beginning. And truth be told, we've seen our government protect Jeffrey Epstein for over a decade.
Yes.
This didn't start in 2019 when he died. This has been going on since the early 2000s, from his first plea deal where he got a non-prosecution agreement. I mean, we have been protecting this guy. Powerful people have been protecting him for years upon years upon years.
And shout out to Diddy Docket. I have a copy of that little agreement that we're going to review right here. We're going to review it. We're going to see how they protected Epstein, how they're isn't it crazy? Yeah, we have it. Shout out to Diddy Docket who sent it to me. Stereophonics Mom, thank you so much for being a member for 18 months. Thank you, love. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. We have the whole document, so we're going to review it here, okay? As soon as we're done watching this.
And it crosses party lines. So while, yeah, I guess it's cool that we're like making little votes like this and we get to see like people actually put the words out there. Like, I'm not going to force the release because they'll tell us when they feel like it. So we can see the despicableness firsthand. I don't actually believe that politicians are going to be the one to open this case wide open. I think it's going to be either a leaker, a hacker, somebody who is just like willing to YOLO on this.
Where's Anonymous? Isn't Anonymous really good about getting into We need a whistleblower, a leaker, a hacker, a journalist, Anonymous, somebody gonna shut this down, get into it, get going now. Are these documents even on computer? I mean, they're probably all paper. Who knows?
That will actually meaningfully move this case forward. I haven't seen any evidence that there is political will besides dunking on your political opponent to actually do anything. Because that's all we've really seen so far is people hit each other with the old, like, you're involved with Epstein. And then you go, well, hey, can you release the files? And they always say, well, we'd sure love to, but actually, no, we can't. Now, that might sound a little doomer. I won't blame you if you get excited about the possible release of the Epstein files. But I just feel like we've been down this road before with people promising to, expose the deep state, expose the guys in power. In fact, ironically, that's the story of how we got here now, is the Trump administration was dunking on their political opponents for years, saying that, they're secretly involved with Epstein, until it was time to release the files. And then now, it was made by the Democrats. So that's where we're going to leave it. They're literally laughing at us. They're calling it boring. They're saying nothing to see here.
Crazy.
While both people on the screen were somehow involved or linked to Jeffrey Epstein. It's beyond belief, honestly. And this is going to be the last time I talk about Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't think so. I think there's going to be other times where he talks about Jeffrey Epstein, just because I don't know how you cannot not talk about this situation. It's going to be a back and forth, and this is not something that people are going to forget anytime soon. And then there's going to be controversy, conspiracy theories about this, and in part, it's their fault. It's their fault for getting us there because they didn't address it. They should have. That's what they should have done. They should have addressed it. Okay. Let's look at the deal that Epstein made with the government, y'all. Okay. Let's go. And we got it. We're going to review it. Let me just close down some of these. I just have too many I have way too many. And shout out to Diddy Docket. I have way too many tabs open. Okay. I think this is an important thing to review as we're talking about it, just so we have an idea. The truth is boring, right? Right. Especially when it's about covering up certain aspects of the truth. The truth can always be boring. Let's see. Can we zoom into this? How come I can't zoom in? Yes, I can. Here it is. Non-prosecution agreement. Okay, this is pertaining to Jeffrey Epstein. We've zoomed in all the way. Let me put a little watermark on it because I don't know if everybody has this document. Diddy Docket, if you're listening, thank you so much, my love. I appreciate you. Thank you. I'm going to watermark it just because people tend to take stuff. If you want the document, feel free to email Diddy Docket. She just sent it to me out of nowhere. Thank you, Diddy Docket. All right, so this is definitely, let me look at the date real quick, just so we know the exact date. It's only about 7 pages long. 2007. There's some markings here that we got to look at. This is going to be interesting to see. Epstein signed this in 2007. Okay. It's only 7 pages. We could definitely get through this, okay? All right, it appearing that the City of Palm Beach Police Department and the State Attorney's Office for the 15th Judicial Circuit in and for Palm Beach County, hereinafter the State Attorney's Office, have conducted an investigation into the conduct of Jeffrey Epstein, hereinafter Epstein. It appearing that the State Attorney Office has charged Epstein by indictment with solicitation of prostitution in violation of Florida statute section 796.07. It appearing that United States Attorney Office and the Federal Bureau of Investigations have conducted their own investigation into Epstein's background and any offenses that may have been committed by Epstein against the United States from in or around 2001 through in or around September 2007, including knowingly and willfully conspiring with others. Who are these others, my friends? You see that? Let's highlight that because this is the part that they're trying to hide, okay? This is a little deal that they made, okay? Knowingly and willfully conspiring with others, known and unknown to commit an offense against the United States. That is to facilitate or means of interstate or foreign commerce, to knowingly pursue, induce, or entice minor females to engage in prostitution in violation of Title 18 United States Code Section 2422B. All in violation of Title 18 United States Code Section 371. Knowingly and willfully conspiring with others, known and unknown, to travel in interstate commerce for the purposes of engaging in illicit sexual conduct as defined in 18 U.S.C. 2423F with minor females in violation of Title 18 United States Code Section 2423B. All in violation of Title 18 United States Code. Okay. So again, knowingly and willfully conspiring with others, okay, for the travel of illicit using a facility or means of interstate or foreign commerce to knowingly persuade, induce, or entice minor females to engage in prostitution. Okay. Code is there. Traveling in interstate commerce for the purposes of engaging in illicit sexual conduct. All right. There's that right there too. With minor females. And it's very specific to the kind of victim. It's not saying minor children, which would be inclusive of, it's females specifically in 2007. This is what it was. So Kevin Spacey saying something about this. I mean, you kind of have to wonder, well, sure, release the list, but you knew that there was little girls there. And by the way, I do have to say something even more about the Kevin Spacey thing. Kevin, if this man gave you the creeps, you didn't say shit. You didn't say anything about little girls who said you knew and you didn't know, but you did know and you traveled. My friend, Kevin, my friend, not my friend, but, not really, but like online, form of speech. Why didn't you say something? Why didn't you say something? Why didn't you report? Okay. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. That would be the question that I have for Mr. Kevin. With minor females in violation of Title 18, knowingly in or in affecting interstate foreign commerce, recruiting, enticing, obtaining by any means a person, knowing that the person had not attained the age of 18 years and would be caused to engage in commercial S acts, okay, as defined by the code. So knowing that that person had not attained the age of 18 and would be caused to engage in a commercial S act, right? It appearing that Epstein seeks to resolve globally his state and federal criminal liability. And Epstein acknowledges that in exchange for the benefit provided by this agreement, he agrees to comply with its terms, including undertaking certain actions with the state attorney's office. You'll see that? This is that agreement. What are the actions that Epstein was asked to undertake with the state attorney's office? It appearing after an investigation of the offenses in Epstein's background by state and federal law enforcement agencies, and after due consultation with the state attorney's office, that the interests of the United States, the state of Florida, and the defendant will be served by the following procedure. Therefore, on the authority of R. Alexander Acosta, United States Attorney for the Southern District of Florida, prosecution in the district of these offenses shall be deferred in favor of prosecution by the state of Florida, provided that Epstein abides by the following conditions and the requirements of this agreement set forth below. Okay. Here are the agreements. Here we go. If the United States Attorney should determine, based on reliable evidence, that during the period of the agreement, Epstein willfully violated any of the conditions for his agreement, then the United States Attorney may, within 90 days, follow the expiration of the term of home confinement. So he gets home, he had home confinement. All right. How many Pedialites do you know would have home confinement initially? Not after actually serving time. That's what it sounds like to me. But this is what isn't it interesting? Very specific. This Pedialite gets home confinement. Ain't that some ish, y'all? I don't know too many that would have that written in there, but okay. Within 90 days following the expiration of the term of home confinement, discussed below, provide Epstein with timely notice specifying the conditions of the agreement that he has violated, and shall initiate its prosecution on any offense within 60 days of giving notice of the violation. Any notice provided to Epstein pursuant to this paragraph shall be provided within 60 days of the United States learning of facts which may provide a basis for a determination of a breach of the agreement. After timely fulfilling all the terms and conditions of the agreement, no prosecution for the offense set out on pages 1 and 2 of this agreement. So if he fulfills the terms and conditions of this, pages 1 and 2 of this agreement, no prosecution. All right, so 1 and 2. Let's see, we're on page 2. So all of these, this would be 2 right here. All of these charges he wouldn't get if he fulfills what he is being asked to agree to, okay? Nor any other offenses that have been the subject of the joint investigation by the Federal Bureau of Investigations and the United States Attorney's Office, nor any offenses that arose from federal grand jury investigation will be instituted in this district, and the charges against Epstein, if any, will be dismissed. Y'all see that? I don't know too many Pedialites that would have gotten a sweetheart deal like this, right? To like literally, who, if money doesn't talk, that is crazy, y'all. Let's keep going. I think it's important to review what they gave Epstein, okay? Terms of the agreement. Here we go. Epstein shall plead guilty, not nolo contender or contended to the indictment as currently pending against him in the 15th Judicial Circuit in and for Palm Beach County. The case numbers there, charging one count of solicitation of prostitution in violation of F1. Okay, the code is there. In addition, Epstein shall plead guilty to an information filed by the state attorney's office charging Epstein with an offense that requires him to register as an SO. That is the solicitation of minors to engage in prostitution in violation of Florida statute section 796.3. Excuse me. Epstein shall make a binding recommendation that the court impose a 30-day month sentence to be divided as follows. Epstein shall be sentenced to consecutive terms of 12 months and 6 months in county jail for all charges, without any opportunity for withholding adjudication or sentencing, and without probation or community control in lieu of imprisonment. And Epstein shall be sentenced to a term of 12 months of community control consecutive to his 2 terms in county jail as described in term supra. This agreement is contingent upon a judge of the 15th Judicial Circuit executing the sentence agreed upon between the state attorney's office and Epstein, the details from which are set forth in the agreement. The terms contained in paragraphs 1 and 2 supra do not foreclose Epstein and the state attorney's office from agreeing to recommend any additional charges or any additional terms of probation and or incarceration. Epstein shall waive all challenges to the information filed by the state attorney's office, shall waive the right to appeal his conviction and sentence, except a sentence that exceeds what is set forth in paragraph 2. Epstein shall provide to the U.S. Attorney's Office copies of all proposed agreements with the state attorney's office prior to entering into those agreements. The United States shall provide Epstein attorney with a list of individuals whom it has identified as victims. So, okay. So here, this is interesting. The United States shall provide Epstein's attorneys with the list of individuals who it has identified as victims. After Epstein has signed the agreement and been sentenced, upon the execution of the agreement, the United States, in consultation with the subject to the good faith approval of Epstein's counsel, shall select an attorney representative for these persons, who shall be paid for by Epstein. Epstein had to pay for their attorney. It was definitely a slap on the hand. There it is. There's your list, right, Rachel? There's your list. There's your list. The list that they said that there's no list. They had 1,000 victims. This is 1,000 victims, okay? But what we're wanting to know, and I have more, actually I have more on this right here, me again. We're going to look into that next. I'm just reading this very quickly so we understand the deal. When we're reviewing some of this Epstein stuff, you know, we can go through some of the social media commentary, but I think it's always good to kind of bring pieces of information that's like already historic, such as these documents. So again, shout out to Diddy Docket, okay, for providing this to us. All right, so the United States shall provide Epstein attorneys with the list of individuals whom it has identified as victims, okay? As defined in 18 U.S.C., after Epstein has signed this agreement and been sentenced. Upon the execution of the agreement, the United States, in consultation with and subject to good faith approval of Epstein's counsel, shall select the attorney representative for those persons. And Epstein had to pay, it says right here, who shall be paid for by Epstein. So Epstein had to pay for that attorney that represented those victims. Epstein's counsel may contact the identified individuals through that representative. So Epstein's attorneys had to contact those victims' counsel through that attorney, right? That's how they would probably get information. If any of the individuals referred to in paragraph 7 elect to file suit pursuant to 18 U.S.C. 2255, Epstein will not contest the jurisdiction of the United States District Court for the Southern District of Florida over his person and or subject matter. And Epstein waives his right to contest liability and also waive his right to contest damages up to an amount as agreed between the identified individuals and Epstein. So as long as the identified individuals elect to proceed exclusively under 18 U.S.C. 2255 agrees to waive any other claim for damages, whether pursuant to state, federal, or common law, notwithstanding this waiver as to those individuals whose names appeared on the list provided by the United States. Epstein's signature on this agreement, his waivers, and failure to contest liability and such damages in any suit are not to be construed as an admission of any criminal or civil liability. Okay. Epstein's signature on this agreement also is not to be construed as an admission of civil or criminal liability or a waiver of any jurisdictional or any defense as to any person whose name does not appear on the list provided by the United States, except as to those individuals who elect to proceed exclusively under 18 U.S.C. as set forth in paragraph 8. Neither Epstein's signature on this agreement, nor its terms, nor any resulting waivers or settlement by Epstein are to be construed as admissions or evidence of civil or criminal liability or waiver of any jurisdictional or other defense as to any person, whether or not her name appears on the list provided by the United States. Okay. Epstein shall use his best efforts to enter his guilty plea to be sentenced not later than October 26, 2007. The United States has no objection to Epstein self-reporting to begin serving his sentence not later than January 4th, 2008. Okay. So again, notice the timeline, okay? Epstein agrees that we will not be afforded any benefits with respects to gain time other than the rights, opportunities, and benefits as any other inmate, including but not limited to eligibility for gain time credit based on standard rules and regulations that apply in the state of Florida. At the United States request, Epstein's agreed to provide an accounting of the gain time he earned during his period of incarceration. So like time served type of situation. The parties anticipate that this agreement will not be made part of any public record. Okay, hold up. The parties anticipate that this agreement will not be made part of any public record. Why? If the United States receives a Freedom of Information Act request or any compulsory process commanding the disclosure of the agreement, it will provide notice to Epstein before making that disclosure. Why is this supposed to be? I'm so confused. Well, I guess I'm not because of the high level of craziness here. But even then, right there, guys, like it shows this is the plea agreement. Like they couldn't FOIA these? They couldn't FOIA things? That's interesting. Okay. Epstein understands that the United States attorney has no authority to require the state attorney's office to abide by any terms of the agreement. Okay. Epstein understands that it is his obligation to undertake discussions with the state attorney's office and to use his best efforts to ensure compliance with these procedures, with compliance will be necessary to satisfy the United States interests. Epstein also understands that it is his obligation to use his best efforts to convince the judge of the 15th Judicial Circuit to accept Epstein's binding recommendation regarding the sentence to be imposed, and understands that the failure to do so will be breach of the agreement. Now, this was highlighted, and I want to know why. Hold up. In consideration of Epstein's agreement to plead guilty and to provide compensation in the matter of described above, if Epstein successfully fulfills all of the terms and conditions of this agreement, the United States also agrees that it will not institute any criminal charges against any potential co-conspirators, included but not limited to Sarah Kellen, Adriana Ross, Leslie Groff, and Nadia Markovinskova. Oh, y'all see that shit? Oh my God. Do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see that name right there? Do you see the names? There it is. There's your names right there. There's some names right there. Right there. Talk about a plea right there. Let me reread that sentence again. United States also agrees it will not institute any criminal charges against any potential co-conspirators of Epstein, including but not limited to Sarah Kellen. Who the hell is Sarah Kellen? Let me see. Let's Google search. Sarah Kellen Epstein. Who's that? Sarah Kellen Vickers? Oh, who is Sarah Kellen? She was an alleged recruiter to Epstein. There you go. There's one. Right there. There's some names right there. She was married to the NASCAR dude. All right, hold up. Let me show you guys what I'm looking at. There you go. There you go, y'all. These names, I never read this before, so I'm reading it for the first time with you guys. There's Sarah Kellen right there. This is her. That's a picture of her and Maxwell together. Okay? I need you guys to hit the like button. We need to get it to at least like a couple of likes up here, guys, because this is the kind of stuff they want to suppress. We brought some fire over here with these documents, okay? Shout out to Diddy Docket. Yes, that's right. That's a list, not limited to, infers that there are others involved. Absolutely. Yes, Corey. Thank you. Please support the channel. Y'all see that? All of them were scrambling. Right. So that's Sarah Keller. All right, hold up. Now let me Google. What was the other name that was mentioned? Hold up, y'all. Because this is all bolded. Sarah Keller, Adriana Ross, Epstein. As soon as I put that up there, Epstein comes up. Oh, this is her. Oh, let me show you a picture, y'all. Let me show you a picture. Oh, man. Look at this. This is her. There's a list. There's co-conspirators, but there's nothing. There's no list. It's in the document in 2007 when this man cut a deal. The list is right there. Thank you, Paige, for the $19.99, my love. Thank you. I really appreciate the support. Thank you. I don't think Obama wrote this. I don't think Hillary wrote this. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't think any of these other individuals. There's a name right there. Okay. Wow. Right, attorney. Like literally, there's your name. We got more names. Our Heart, thank you so much for the $3 super sticker. Oh my God. And Alejandro, thank you so much, guys. Thank you guys for supporting. Just make sure you guys are hitting that like button, okay? Because this is so, I'm taking notes, y'all. I'm taking notes on this too. Hold up. We have other names. But there's no list. Okay. Leslie, is it Groff? Hold up. Let me spell it out. Her name is Leslie. Oh, yeah. Her name comes up right away with Epstein. It's literally like if you Google it, it just comes up right away, y'all. Here it is. This is her. Isn't she? Hold up. Is she a victim? Is she also a victim, but she's also a co-conspirator? This is interesting, guys. This is similar to assistant to Jeffrey Epstein says she was falsely accused. So she was an assistant. Let me show you guys, y'all. There's a lot of articles out there. So these people right here are saying that they were falsely accused. This is Leslie. This is she was an assistant. But she's also considered a co-conspirator in this document. Like Cassie, right? Like Cassie. Guys, this is deep. Hold up. Let's look at another one. There's more names. Hold up. So Leslie, and then is it Natanya? I don't know how to say her last name. Not Natanya. I'm sorry, Nadia. Nadia Marcinkovi. Epstein. She's a pilot. All of these are women, guys. I'll show you. Hold up. She's a pilot. As prosecutors, hold up. I'll show y'all. Look at this. This is interesting. All of these are women where there's no men. These are all women recruiters. So remember when Virginia Giuffre, if you've ever heard her story, she would say that she was also like helping recruit people, right? This is her. As prosecutors go after Epstein's alleged co-conspirator, the line between accomplice and victim may be blurred. Some of these were victims and co-conspirators. She flew. Did she fly? Right. She's a pilot. Right. Oh my God, Paz. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all this amazing coverage. No, I really appreciate you, my love. Thank you, guys. Thank you for those that have supported the channel. Thank you. Thank you. Frustrated Lurker says several victims have spoken out about becoming recruiters for him. That's right, Frustrated Lurker. And I remember Virginia Giuffre did also speak out about this. And this is the thing where a lot of people that were in the Diddy trial, we were watching this, right? And I had to explain multiple times that it's like, you know, very often the cycle goes that if you have a victim, often becomes a recruiter, and then it's just like vice versa. And so it's a cycle. So like, young girl gets recruited, she's victimized, she's rewarded, right? Or giving all kinds of things and, you know, paid or whatever it may be, right? And then the cycle continues like that. And then suddenly she's made to go and look for other victims. So she brings other victims. And then it just kind of the same grooming process happens for a lot of these people. So for example, for some of these people, had they ever went to, like, if this had ever gone to trial, they probably would have needed some level of immunity to testify, right? Because they, you know, they're victims, but they're also they're unindicted co-conspirators to a lot of the Epstein crimes. So, because I mean, it wasn't like if you find Epstein's not going to do this by himself, right? He needed young, beautiful women in a certain age range to bring other young women into this whole situation. So that's kind of how it works. So I am not at all surprised by this. What I'm wanting to know is these are all women names. I'm looking for some of the male names, some of the people, the men's that had to do with this too, right? Hold up. Now let me go back to the document. That was interesting. That was an interesting little sidebar to look at. And thank you, Frustrated Lurker, for this comment. Absolutely. I mean, this is a real thing. In any human trafficking ring, you have there's names for this. And I'm sorry, it's been a minute. I used to have a lot of like human trafficking cases, S cases and stuff like that. And so you would have the recruiters that would bring in the younger girls, and you know they'd like pay them, and you know, and there's a specific target, right? They'd go to typically the young girls, runaway kids specifically, or young girls whose parents might be a little bit more absent, or maybe working triple, double jobs to sustain a household, so they're not as alert about what's going on with their child. This is a thing. This actually does happen a lot more. Y'all be careful, especially in the high schools, because they definitely do recruit. And it's under the guise of like, we're friends type of situation. And before you know it, they don't even know what they get themselves into because they get in way too deep, way too deep. But yes, that's right. Virginia said that Epstein sent her to Thailand to bring back 12-year-old girls, a child. She didn't know this time. Remember, there was Jean Brunel, the guy that committed S in the French prison. Virginia said that he was also bringing like he would go to like certain parts of the country, 12-year-old little girls, 13-year-old girls, and then he would fly them out there and take them out, you know what I'm saying, away from their parents, and then maybe pay them and then send them back to where they go. So this was a thing. So for them to say it's fake news, we don't, no. This is deep. And it would make sense why Pam, Trump specifically would be very scared to allow this information to be released, and why he's calling it fake news. Okay. So, yeah, and Elon is in that boat too, Justice AZ. You're right. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, yes, modeling is a very lucrative business. This is under the guise of modeling. You're absolutely right. So, using the modeling industry to recruit these people, these young girls. All right, so then they name the names, and then it further says, further upon execution of this agreement and plea agreement with the state attorney's office, the federal grand jury investigation will be suspended, and all pending federal grand jury subpoenas will be held in abeyance unless and until defendant violates any terms of this agreement. The defendant likewise agrees to withdraw his pending motion to intervene and quash certain grand jury subpoenas. Both parties agree to maintain their evidence, specifically evidence requested by or directly related to the grand jury subpoenas that have been issued, and including certain computer equipment I think there's a typo. I think it's in violation or inviolate until all the terms of this agreement have been satisfied. Sorry, like the print on it is a little blurry for me sometimes. Upon the successful completion of the term of this agreement, all outstanding grand jury subpoenas shall be deemed withdrawn. Look at this. So this is quite the sweetheart deal. Knowing the ins and outs of this guy and what he was into it, who he was flying out, he was able to get all this. Why did the government do this? Did they feel like they didn't have enough to just go full throttle at the, like, I'm so confused. Why do this whole agreement? Hold up. And then it further goes. By signing this agreement, Epstein asserts and certifies that each of these terms is material to this agreement, is supported by independent consideration, and that a breach of any of these conditions allows the United States to elect to terminate the agreement and to investigate and prosecute Epstein and any other individual or entity for any and all federal offenses. Okay. So those co-conspirators, unindicted, right? Like co-conspirators, unindicted, nothing. What deals did they make in order for them to not be prosecuted? I mean, even after Epstein's death, what happened? Did they just let this go? So here it says Epstein asserts and certifies that he's aware of the fact that the Sixth Amendment to the Constitution of the United States provides that in all criminal prosecution, an accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial, which is what we had in the Diddy trial. It was a speedy trial. Epstein further is aware that 48B of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure provides that the court may dismiss an indictment, information, or complaint for necessary delay in presenting a charge to the grand jury. Filing information or bringing the defendant to trial. Epstein hereby requests the United States Attorney for the Southern District of Florida to defer such prosecution. Epstein agrees and consents that any delay from the date of this agreement to the date of initiation of prosecution as provided for in the terms of express herein shall be deemed to be necessary delay at its own request. And he hereby waives any defense to such prosecution on the grounds that such delay operate to deny him rights under Rule 48B of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure and the Sixth Amendment to the Constitution of the United States to a speedy trial, or to bar the prosecution by reasons of the running of the statute of limitations for a period of months equal to the period between the signing of this agreement and the breach of this agreement to those offenses that were the subject of the grand jury's investigation. Epstein further asserts and certifies that he understands that the Fifth Amendment and Rule 7A of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure provides that all felonies must be charged in an indictment presented to a grand jury. Epstein hereby agrees and consents that if a prosecution against him is instituted for any offense that was the subject of the grand jury investigation, it may be a way of information signed and filed by the United States Attorney, and hereby waives his rights to be indicted by a grand jury as to any such offense. So he signed this. Alexander Acosta is that's his thing. Well, it's not signed, but this is Epstein's signature, which that's such an easy signature to take off. And there's the Marie Villafana attorney who's expressed her utter frustration with trying to go after Epstein. And remember, Epstein was sending private investigators to these federal people that were investigating him too. Okay, keep that in mind. Like, this is the kind of stuff Epstein did not want to be investigated, so he was sending like his own little private investigators. We were reading about that yesterday. I thought that was very interesting that he could do that, y'all. And they couldn't do anything about it. I mean, they put up with it. These private investigators were like literally digging through his trash. They were doing all kinds of things. It is insane. Now, hold up, guys, because I have to show you other things. There was something else that I wanted to show you. No, we've already seen this. This isn't new. There was something else I wanted to show y'all before I forget. Damn. More bad news in the Epstein case. Okay, Penguins did a commentary on it that I definitely want to watch. Shout out to Penguins. But let me shout out some folks in the chat. Oh my goodness. Gold Digger, thank you so much for becoming a new member. Shout out to you, my love. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you. All of that really does help out, especially when we're talking about this kind of content that I tell you guys, this is not the kind of stuff that they want us talking about. So I'm doing my best to keep it cute, censor myself as much as I can. The other video they tried to demonetize over our commentary, which is whatever. We're going to do what we have to do. And let me get this. This is annoying. Remove this. Remove this. Let me get these stickers off my face. Sorry, this does bother me. Okay, here we go. Shout out to Penguins. I like his commentary for this as well. He's been very informative as well.
Six Funky Florida Man coming at you again with a new infuriating update in the disastrous handling of the Jeffrey Epstein case here. No good news on this front, sports fans. All of us continue to wiggle our cheeks into the front row seats to blatant, evil, degenerate corruption with the most obvious cover-up of all time and unfolding right in front of our fucking faces. Today, I'm sure a lot of you saw, there was an amendment put forth that would try and force the DOJ to release the information they have on Epstein. I'm going to go ahead and immediately tackle the titties on this one up front because some new talking points have hit the influencers' desks. A bunch of these shill android homunculi are going around with the pocket watch out, trying to hypnotize the public into believing that this amendment was trying to push for something that it wasn't. They are claiming that this amendment was trying to have the DOJ release unredacted information and evidence in the Epstein case, meaning all of the victims' names and videos and shit, and basically saying that it was trying to get them to release child porn here.
Yep.
Which is so fucking outlandish, it is lunacy. That is a load of barnacles, and yet there are a lot of people that now believe it because they didn't bother to look at it themselves at all. From all available information as well as...
Hold up, and let me show you guys something. Yo, and at Waffles, I got your email. So, hustle, bitch. Did you guys see this? When did this happen? Jeffrey Epstein's estate got a $112 million tax refund. The estate assets have swelled up to $145 million. Okay, are any of the victims seeing this money? When did this happen? This is 2 hours ago. This is why the U.S. government is still wiring. Why is the U.S. government still wiring Jeffrey Epstein money? He's dead, right? Is this true? Is this true? Hold up. Let me see if I can find the actual article, y'all, because, you know, sometimes my eyes trip me out. You know, I see things. I don't see things. People call me crazy sometimes. I just want to make sure that I understand. I mean, I do have a subscription to the New York Times because I had to get one because of the Diddy trial, which I was not happy about and didn't get to really use. Get out of here. Oh, my Lord. This is an article from yesterday. Today's the 16th. That is insane. Yeah, it's not saying, well, because he's dead, right? But What? We're going to look at that bill too. Apparently there's a bill, and this is what Waffles Biscuit was sending me. Let me see if I can pull it. I'm gonna, and I think it was Hustle Bitch who posted this. But hold on, I want to. I'm like, what? I'm stunned by this news. I didn't know this. So let me do something real quick. Congress just introduced the Epstein Files Transparency Act, and it's massive. The bill demands that the DOJ release everything: flight logs, names of officials, internal FBI emails, immunity deals. That, my friends, we need to see immunity deals. We need to see that. Epstein death records, no redactions for reputational harm or political sensitivity. If passed, it would blow the lid off it all. Did they really do this, Bill? Did this really happen, or is this a joke? We're not asking for what's the word? We're not asking for child prawn. That's not what we want. But I definitely agree with this. Why are we email? I want to see federal emails. I want to see all communication with these folks. I do. Hold up. Let me see if I can pull the original post on this, because this is insane. Is it a transparency bill? Epstein Files. Let me see if I can pull it. Oh, yeah. How come I missed this? I totally missed this, y'all. House Representatives introduce a bipartisan bill to release Epstein files. Democrats call for more Epstein evidence. Trump, well, yeah, we just watched it. Didn't they say no? But there's an actual bill for this, right? I feel like we already read a little bit of this earlier. Yeah, we did. I want to see the actual bill, though. As Republicans call for transparency into Epstein probe, Trump lashes out. They haven't submitted that, though, did they? Because I haven't seen anything that would have supported that. Oh, that's the one that they voted down. That's right. That's right. Okay, we did review this earlier. Okay, so we did review this. I'm stuck on this part, y'all, but I'm stuck on the this piece right here. Yeah, we did Waffles Biscuit. We did review that in the morning. This is what they voted down. I was like, did they submit a new one or something? Okay. You said you would think that the Dems would continue wanting to protect the Clintons. Weird, right? Tina, what does that tell you? It's weird, huh? They voted it down yesterday. Yeah, I think we reviewed it. We talked about in the new video. They made it. So they made a new one, Carrie Ann says. Okay, this must be a new one then, because I'm not aware of it. If you guys have the new one, please email it to me. Let me show you guys my email. If you come across it, please, please, please. Because I think this is the one that they voted down. This is my email for you guys to hit me up, okay? Whatever wasn't in past, but they said they have a new one though, right? So if you have it, shoot me an email right there. Okay. Waffles Biscuit, if you see a new one, let me know. Please and thank you. Appreciate you emailing me. It was 2 separate votes, but one in the committee and the other one was a full vote. Okay, got you, Mercy Miami. Rabbit, this is a new one as of today. Okay, so there is a new one as of today. I'm gonna have to review it when I get a chance. I want to see the whole thing though. I don't want to I want to see the whole document. This isn't what was voted on yesterday. Okay, gotcha. Well, there might be some confusion then, right? There might be multiples. I don't know. Sounds like there might have been 2. I need to understand though. This is tripping me out a bit. Close current tab. Yes. Sorry, I'm closing these. I have too many tabs open, y'all. Per usual. Am I crazy? I feel like I'm going crazy. I'm just reviewing so many things, y'all. By the way, side note, I did finish. I need to edit the video, but I did finish a video recording on the Alexander brothers. I was supposed to release it yesterday, but I got too busy. I was cleaning and I was like on nonstop mode. And when I'm on that mode, I just don't stop. I just keep cleaning until I'm done. And that was a lot of hours of cleaning because I had a lot of cleaning to do. Okay. Jeffrey Epstein's associates could reap benefit a big tax refund. I don't understand how that happens, but okay. The estate assets have swelled up to 145 million, and probate court filing in the U.S. Virgin Islands shows much of that won't make its way to Mr. Epstein's victims. 1,000 victims, no lists, and some of these victims will never see this money. That is insane. Jeffrey Epstein once vast estate, art, jewelry, lavish property, and investment was meant to be drained by settlements to as many SA victims and payments to resolve other legal claims. But it now appears that two of its most loyal business associates, this is bullshit, who are serving as executors of his estate, stand in line to potentially reap a big benefit. The money is going to go to executors of the estate who are serving as executors of the estate. So these victims won't see anything. All right, I'll check it out. Waffles Biscuit. Thank you. Oh my God. This is gross. That's just gross, y'all. It really is. %. They said the vast majority of it. It's 10% for the executors. Okay. So at one point, one of the executors predicted the estate would shrink to less than 40 million from its original 600 million once all the payments were made. But after a 111.6 million tax refund from the IRS last fall, the estate assets have swelled up to 145 million. A probate court filing in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Okay. Wow. And this is what that filing shows. And with most large claims against the estate having been settled, that newfound cash isn't likely to make its way to the victims of the disgraced financier. Instead of his assets could be distributed to the co-executors along with other beneficiaries chosen by Mr. Epstein before his death. Oh my God. Most of whose identities remain largely in secrecy. Court filings and depositions have revealed that beyond the co-executors, who are Mr. Epstein's longtime accountants and personal lawyers, another beneficiary is a woman who was Mr. Epstein's girlfriend at the time of his 2019 arrest. Oh my God. So he had a girlfriend and then he had Maxwell? Griselda, he was cheating on you, girl. He was dealing with other women, but wow. You cannot make this up. Oh my God. So the money could go to a girlfriend? Damn. I know, Callie Dime, right? They came right on time. They came right on time with this information. Lord have mercy. You think it's all a front, Blair? You think he was actually gay? Really? I've never heard of anybody thinking that he was gay. Okay. Well, what about the dealings with the little girls? I mean, I don't know. It's okay. Thank you, Susan. You think it's BS? Okay, well, they have it was going to go to a girlfriend. Epstein's girlfriend at the time of his 2019 arrest on federal trafficking charges, but there are many others. Mr. Epstein, oh my God, we have the file in here, who paid himself while in prison, which I don't think he did. Had one brother, Mark, who says he doesn't know if he's among the beneficiaries. Regardless of who they are, the notion of this infusion of cash can't be claimed by victims who have already settled their cases is frustrating to the women and their advocates. I think it is morally objectionable for anyone other than a victim to benefit from acts of injustice or wrongdoing. So this is I can't say their name. Is it Marijike? I'm not even going to try to say their last name. Marijike, who was an SA victim of Epstein. She was 20 and she had already received a payment from the estate. Victims continue to suffer. Okay, let me see if I can zoom into this so you guys can see. Oh my gosh. This is insane. Wow. So this is because most large claims against the estate have been settled. The newfound cash isn't likely to make its way to Mr. Epstein's victims. So whatever he settled with before death, then everything else after, they don't get like jewelry, watches, loans, receivables, anticipated estate tax, cash on hand. Oh my God. Representatives of the Epstein estate declined to comment. A college dropout, Mr. Epstein amassed much of his wealth by charging hefty fees for providing tax and estate services to a handful of billionaires like Leslie Wexner, the Realtel, and Leon Black, and private equity investors. Mr. Epstein's, God, my voice is going in and out. Mr. Epstein estate has paid out $164 million in settlements to nearly 200 people he SA'd while they were teenagers. The estate also reached $105 million settlement with the government of the U.S. Virgin Islands to resolve a lawsuit over big tax breaks Mr. Epstein has received for businesses, and it has paid tens of millions of dollars in fees for lawyers and other professionals. It also repaid a $30 million loan. Man, this thing is still making money, though. It's crazy. This thing is still making money. What do you guys have to say about that? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Now, hold up. Let me go to, because I just kind of stopped the video right in the midst of a thought. This is again, shout out to Penguins.
From the individual behind the amendment himself, this was basically just trying to get the DOJ to release the Epstein evidence and client list, which, as you might recall, is exactly what Trump promised to do. Not only Trump, but a lot of people in the administration as well, and a lot of people that ran with that as a crucial point. All of them assuring the public that if they get elected, this would be something that they would release for sure, because it's extremely important. Now, they haven't, and they are actively denying its existence and burying it. And now the new talking point is Trump claiming that, well, the files do exist, contrary to what the DOJ and FBI said about like there being no client list and no blackmail. Trump is saying, no, the files exist, but you can't trust them, they're fraudulent because they were written by Obama and crooked Hillary.
Crazy.
But in essence, you can kind of boil this amendment down to basically just wanting Trump and the administration to follow through on that promise of releasing what they said they would release. This is the flight logs. This is the client list, that kind of shit. It is not trying to force the DOJ to release unredacted videos and information of the victims. That is obviously not something that anyone is asking be shared with the public. It is disgusting, and it is a crazy deflection that they're trying to pull here. So anyway, this amendment was put in there, and it was voted on by, first, the House Rules Committee, where it caught the hands in the Thunderdome and got blocked. They took it over their knee and spanked its keister.
That's right.
Also, I am unfamiliar with Virginia Fox here, but she is looking like an ancient artifact here. That is a fossil. Pardon me.
Holy shit. Damn, come on, don't do that. Don't do that. Come on now. Did you hear that, Doreen? He's like, oh my God. I didn't say it. He said it. I'm just laughing. All right. He said, no, my God. Don't say that. You said she could be Epstein's grandma. Okay. All right. Let's keep going.
While I go on a bit of a tangent here, it's a little unrelated to everything, but I'm just so tired of how everyone in power seems to be extraordinarily old. She looks straight out of a sarcophagus.
Whoa. Oh. Come on. Come on. Ooh, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. They're going to drag him. They're going to say that he's being a little. I can see the other side of this argument. This is not good. Y'all are laughing, but it's not good. It's not good.
Why is everyone in power here so old? Like, Jesus Christ, she looks like every time she farts, dust comes out. And it's
Oh my God, no, stop. You leave it there. Don't go further. Don't go further.
It's not like exclusive to just like some political people here and there. It's like a ton of them. Fucking Joe Biden was hardly ever lucid. You have to wave like an ice cream cone around his nose just to get him alert for conferences.
That is so fucking true. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Like, what was that all about with Joe Biden? No, sorry. Oh man. I'm telling you, this election felt like pick your poison. I don't know which one.
Like, it is crazy how common it is that the people that lead us are so fucking old. Like, Trump is extremely old too. So many of them are, and I'm really tired of that being commonplace.
You're gonna say something about ageism. You need to stop, but okay.
Wait, though, I'll stop ranting about that.
Yes, please do.
The amendment got blocked here, but that didn't mean that it was completely dead in the water. It then went to another vote, which was the whole House voting on it.
There you go.
But spoiler alert, you can probably piece together the breadcrumbs here. Didn't go so well there either.
On this vote, the yeas are 211, the nays are 210. The previous question is ordered. The question is on adoption of the resolution. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it.
RIP to that. That got fucking two-pieced here today. It lost 211 to 210. Now, as I understand it, this would have been leading to a debate, at least, on the topic of the Epstein Files. And it's still...
I have to wonder about the people that are against it. I have to wonder about the people that are voting against it. I do.
Got blocked. Even just the notion of talking deeper about the Epstein Files. Now, I was reading a bit from people that have been very vocal about how important this is to them, yet they came in here and still voted to block it. And from what I've read, they're saying that it was confusing in that this amendment was attached to a larger discussion and vote around cryptocurrency and legislation in regards to cryptocurrency. So some voted no because of that. I also read some of them saying that this wasn't actually a vote about the Epstein thing because it was attached to the Genius Act, which was the cryptocurrency thing. What they were voting no to was the Democrats having the House floor or something to that effect. Ultimately, though, the outcome is the same. There is now not going to be a debate or deeper discussion on the Epstein Files and client list as a result of this amendment or anything. It has been blocked in that regard.
Right.
So whatever the reason for the no was, the outcome is that that is not going to happen, at least not from this amendment, at least not right now. Regardless, the outcome remains the same. The Epstein Files remain in this limbo where for many years they had existed and were very important, and any day now it's coming. And then a week ago, DOJ, FBI says it's not real. There's no list. There's no blackmail. Epstein killed himself. And now, a few days after that, the files are real. They do exist, but Obama and crooked Hillary wrote them. So it is just a huge fucking song and dance.
Yep.
And ultimately, still getting nowhere here. Our government continues to unapologetically protect pedophiles that were incriminated in the Jeffrey Epstein case. Still, no arrests have been made, and they continue to lie about even the existence of some of this evidence.
That is the biggest crime here, that we are forever going to be protecting these people. We have all of these like initiatives, stop child exploitation, stop this, stop that, let's do this, let's do that together. All of this is all together. And here we have these files and the lack of whatever may be in them. It's just a simple fact that there's a lack of transparency from somebody who promised it. It's just crazy to me. Hell, let me show you guys something else. Russell Brand, who I'm not a fan of Russell Brand. I know some of you guys are fans of Russell Brand, and that's absolutely fine. That is your thing, and that's your prerogative. I'm not. I think that Russell Brand is a bit sketch to me in so many ways. He posted this. Trump, their new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. So now it's the hoax. If I was a victim of this crime, of this whole thing, that would be like the biggest knife in my back. The biggest knife on my back would be that. And the fact that people aren't saying shit. We got to write bills. We got to do different things to make this, like, this is just ridiculous. It's crazy, man. It sucks. It does.
And they're hoping that eventually you'll just move on from it. If they can continue to downplay it and try and hypnotize you into thinking it's no big deal, maybe eventually you'll swallow the shit they feed you with a big smile on your face and be the compliant, good little drone that they want you to become. And for some people, it is working. Unfortunately, every single day, there's more and more people just wanting to bury this and move on from it. But I also think there's a large number of people that can see right through this garbage and see just how corrupt this is.
Yep.
Just a very quick briefing. And in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen, and I would say that, these files were made up by Comey. They were made up by Obama. They were made up by the Biden, we went through years of that with the Russia hoax, with all of the different things that we had to go through. We've gone through years of it. But she's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release. Yeah.
They think you're a fucking bumbling moron. They think you are stupid. It is unbelievable how little they think of your intelligence to be trying to pull shit like this.
Yep. Trump
continues to try and assure everyone that, well, I guess the files are definitely real now because Trump keeps talking about them. But don't trust them. They are altered. They're fraudulent because they were written by Obama and, the whole crew there, the Democrats. It was all part of this big hoax. Which I'm begging, if you please just think for a couple of seconds, if that was the case, if these files were all bogus baloney, why wouldn't they have used it as a weapon against Trump and conservatives in general?
There you go.
Why would they engineer this big fraudulent list and then not use it and also themselves bury it? And pardon me for being a little bold here, but I'd like to plant a little seed in people's noodles. The Democrats have had ample opportunity to also make the Epstein investigation, the files and client list, a priority to release.
Didn't I say this? Didn't I say that at the very beginning? Didn't I say this? When Biden was in office, he could have done something. He didn't. I said this. There's a reason. I've said this multiple times. I'm glad he's saying it too, but I've been saying this
to the public and actually try and hold these criminals accountable. They had years to do this.
Agreed.
Why didn't they pursue it when Biden was in office?
Now they want to do it because they're like, oh, we got to expose Donald Trump. My friends, you could have done this when Biden was in the office and you didn't. This is how they're turning this shit into a political thing when really it's about safety for the community and letting people know what's going on and people being informed.
The only explanation would be that there are powerful people in that party that are also guilty and incriminated in those files. So this has been something that's been a real hot potato that neither political party has really wanted to grip onto. Neither one of them have wanted to actually, dive deeper into the Epstein case. At least not until recently, where it seems like there are some people that are making a push to make it more of a priority. And if something can finally come from that, some justice where these criminals get locked up, that would be fantastic. But as of right now, that's still not happening. It is still in this fucking purgatory, and it is disgusting. This shit is absolutely tragic. And yeah, just another bad update, unfortunately, on this whole Jeffrey Epstein case. That's really about it. So yeah.
That's it. I mean, what else? If they can't do anything about it, they're not going to do anything about it. What was the latest tweet, Gemini? Because I don't see it. That's how much I don't pay attention to Donald Trump's tweeting because it just drives me insane. I'm going to the White House too, which is also like the Donald Trump new page as well, and I don't see anything. What was something about? I mean, there's nothing on the files. There's nothing posted there. What did he say? Hold up, let me see. Investment alert, finalizing deals, inflation, 92 billion in technology. Every single day I will be fighting for you, and that's January 10th, though. It's not. What do they say? I'm kind of curious. They're all crooked and liars. No one wants to work for him, but if they already in there over their heads, then Donnie's got them by the balls. There you go. On Truth Social? Okay. Do I even follow? Probably don't. Sorry, y'all. There's just too many damn pages to follow. Truth Social, Donald Trump. Let's see. There's a parody page. I don't see anything. Do you want to tag me on Twitter? If you can. Let's see. Truth Social. Oh, this is funny. Somebody said, hey, look at this. I got to show you guys this. Hold up. He's basically attacking his supporters. It's kind of shocking. He's attacking his own supporters? Really? That's interesting. Let me show you guys something, though, before I head out. Look. Somebody crossed over the statement and said, I'm in the files. Hold up. Let me see. Is he attacking MAGA? Is that what he's doing? His own supporters? Oh, shit. Trump calling his supporters weaklings, and they just taking it. I'm crying. Are they? Oh, okay. Did he do this recently too?
I mean that you're effectively disowning any supporters who are now.
I lost a lot of faith in certain people. Yeah, I lost because they got duped by the Democrats. The Democrats are good for nothing. They've done a terrible job. They almost destroyed our country. If I didn't get elected, all these numbers you're hearing about, they found $25 billion and another 25 is coming in and hundreds of billions of dollars is pouring into our country. And we just got the biggest tax cut in history. We just got the biggest regulation cuts in history. There'll be no tax on tips. There'll be no tax on Social Security. There'll be no tax on overtime.
This morning, you mentioned past supporters when you were talking about the Epstein issue. Does that mean that you're effectively disowning any supporters who are now?
I lost a lot of faith in certain people. Yeah, I lost because they got duped by the Democrats.
Rubio is just sitting there. Like, I cannot stand Rubio. Like, go away. Oh my God. Look at this. Trump supporters call one black woman and assaulted her. Another one because she removed her. Okay, this is like old. Okay, a lot of this is not new. Hold up. I typed in Trump's attack supporter. Let's put in MAGA. Let's see what happens. Hold up. This is crazy. Republicans against MAGA. Oh my God. You no longer have Medicaid, so expect big, beautiful bills. Let me tell you something. This is what's happening a lot that I've the people that I know. Breaking: Trump calls the Epstein scandal bullshit and a hoax and says he no longer wants supporters. Here it is. Does this say right here? Weaklings. Is it weaklings? I can say the word. Who cares? Who cares about it? You are weakening. Y'all, I can't say it. Why can't I say the word? Hold up. You guys know that I'm hooked on phonics, and it's not going to get better for the education system. Weakling. Thank you. Weakling. Thank you, Google. I said it. I said it. There it is. Thank you. I found it. Weakling. If you care about 1,000 children awed by elite Pedialites, he's ended MAGA. You can't move past this. Yo, MAGA. Make America great again or make the president great again? Which one is it, my love? Because this, okay, all right. The radical left Democrats have hit pay dirt again. Pay dirt again. Just like when the fake and fully discredited Sealer dossier, the lying 51 intelligent agents, the laptop from hell, which the Dems swore had come from Russia. No, it came from Hunter Biden's bathroom. And even the Russia scam itself, a totally fake and made up story used in order to hide crooked Hillary Clinton's big loss in the 2016 presidential election. These scams and hoaxes are all the Democrats are good at. It's all they have. They are no good at governing, no good at policy, and no good at picking winning candidates. Also, unlike Republicans, they stick together like glue. Their new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Y'all, he called it a hoax. And my past supporters have bought, and my past support, I can't even read this. This is how much reaction I'm having to this. And my past supporters have bought into this bullshit, hook, line, and sinker. They haven't learned their lessons and probably never will, even after being conned by the lunatic left for 8 long years. I have had more success in 6 months than perhaps any president in our country's history. And all these people want to talk about with strong providing the fake news and success starved Dems is the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success because I don't want their support anymore. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. Damn. This is insane. Yes, I would agree with this. This is the classic either you're with me or against me move. It's a point in the game where people either now join him with eyes wide open and support him, even though he is a Pedialyte, thereby utterly sacrificing their soul. Bitch, I don't follow the devil. I don't follow blind. I do not conform. That should be the slogan. We do not conform. We don't follow blindly. Even if we like the person, we don't follow blindly. We don't conform. You can't kill a cult with facts. These people would let Trump traffic their own kids if they promised it would trigger the, oh my God, let me stop. I gotta stop reading some of this stuff because it's too much. Trump is calling anyone who wants the Epstein Files release a past supporter. MAGA, let that sink in. Are you a past supporter or are you a Pedialyte protector? It's one or the other. You know what I noticed though? A lot of commentators don't even want to speak on this anymore. Like they're like a lot of the big MAGA people, they don't want to speak on this anymore. They said what they said. They broke up. Now what? I told you, man. They're not for us. That's what it is, y'all. Never gonna let this go. I definitely am not. I mean, people will forget because that's what people do. They forget about stuff. It's trending news. But honestly, like this has opened my eyes to a whole different area. And there's a lot of things that I don't know about Epstein. Part of it is because I never really, I heard about it, but I never really looked into it. So we're going to keep talking about it in certain ways. And we're hoping that we'll get an update. But I just want people to wake up and see whether it's Biden, because he should have released these files a long time ago. Epstein, Trump, whoever it is, they do not give a shit about it. They're protecting their own. They're protecting their own. They're protecting their own. Okay. Clock that. Okay. I will let you guys go. I got to go. I've been live for like 2 hours on this. Y'all have been amazing. I will be live later tonight. So I gotta, get some water and everything. Thank you for those that supported the channel. Tonight we got a little bit of interesting topics in addition to some of this, but we gotta mix it up a little bit because we've been on this for a couple of days now. We rebuke it all. We do. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the emails. I'll definitely check it out and see what we're going to talk about. I tend to go if you're Eastern around 9ish. is probably around the time that some of you guys are Eastern. I don't have a set time, but do me a favor, hit the notifications for all. If you're in the Discord, I'm going to put the link for the Discord in the community wall so you guys can go over there and get updated. I'll drop the link there for you guys to join. Shout out to everybody. You guys are amazing. Make sure you guys like this video and share it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys. Bye, bye, bye.